Do you think the Carpathians are just cozy mountains for skiers and tourists? Think again. The Carpathians are a giant wild barrier right in the center of Europe, living by their own harsh laws. Today, you'll discover 7 facts that will make you never want to leave the trail again. Make sure to watch until the very end. You'll find out where underground cities of the future are hidden in the Carpathians, and why these mountains could wake up half the continent at any moment. Our list opens with a phenomenon that makes biologists rub their eyes in disbelief. Meet the travertines, or living stones. To see this wonder, you need to go to the southern Carpathians. Imagine walking through the forest and spotting an ordinary boulder. But then it rains, and the stone starts to grow. This is not fantasy or an optical illusion. These geological mutants can increase in size, change shape, and even reproduce. Locals have avoided them for centuries because these stones can move on their own, leaving trails behind them in the sand. If you cut one open, you'll see growth rings inside, just like in a tree. Science explains it as a complex chemical reaction between minerals and water. But it looks as if the mountains are growing their own silicon-based life form and quietly watching us. But while stones here simply grow, the next place will make you feel like you're on Mars.
6th place, mud volcanoes of the Carpathians. Forget hot lava and ash. Here, ice-cold liquid clay mixed with gas erupts from the depths of the earth. It looks like an alien landscape. Gray, cracked earth stretching for kilometers, and bubbling craters that make eerie sounds. These volcanoes are a direct connection to the planet's deep interior. The gas rising to the surface has been accumulating there for millions of years. Staying here for long is dangerous, and not just because of the smell. The soil is treacherous. It may look as hard as concrete, but one wrong step and you'll sink into a bottomless liquid sludge that the volcano spat out just an hour ago. This place reminds us that beneath the beautiful green slopes of the Carpathians lies a turbulent chemical laboratory. We climb out of the mud and into the thick forest to meet the true masters of these lands.
5th place, bear capital of Europe. If you think humans are the kings of nature, the Carpathians will quickly show you that here you're either food or a guest. The Carpathian Arc is home to the largest population of brown bears on the continent. There are thousands of them. They don't live in zoos, they rule the territory. These animals are perfect survival machines. They can smell you from kilometers away and run faster than Olympic sprinters. Locals know the rules. Don't go into the forest quietly. Nature here has remained so pristine that the animals feel like absolute rulers. Meeting a Carpathian brown bear is a serious test for your nervous system and a clear reminder that civilization ends where the forest begins. Now let's descend to where the air becomes sterile and you can literally lick the walls. 4th place, underground salt palaces. The Carpathians stand on gigantic salt deposits. Millions of years ago, an ancient sea covered this area. When it dried up, it left behind kilometer-thick layers of white gold. For centuries, people have been carving into this salt, creating real underground megacities. The most famous ones in Romania and Poland look like sets from The Lord of the Rings. Imagine a hall as tall as a 15-story building, entirely carved out of salt. Underground lakes where you can row boats, and even Ferris wheels deep underground. The air here is so saturated with ions that any microbe dies instantly. It's a perfectly preserved world where time stands still. Salt keeps everything in ideal condition. Standing hundreds of meters underground, you truly understand the immense scale of the natural treasures these mountains hide. But the Carpathians don't just hide things, they also watch you.
3rd place, the Sea Eye, or Lake Synevyr. From a bird's eye view, it looks mystical. In the middle of a dense, dark forest lies a perfectly round blue lens with a small island right in the center, like a pupil. Legends say the lake has no bottom and is connected by underground tunnels straight to the ocean. Of course, hydrologists disagree, but the lake really behaves strangely. It never overflows, even during the heaviest rains, and it never dries up. The water is ice cold. Even in summer, swimming is impossible. Your muscles cramp instantly. Synevyr is a giant natural reservoir that formed after a massive landslide blocked a river thousands of years ago. Standing on its shore, you feel a calm that borders on unease, as if the mountains are truly watching you with this cold blue eye. If Synevyr is the eye, then our next stop is the lungs of the continent.
Second place, the ancient beech forests of the Carpathians. These are not just beautiful trees. They are a UNESCO World Heritage Site and a unique time machine. Here lie untouched forest areas where no logger's foot has ever stepped. These beaches have witnessed the rise and fall of empires and wars. Some trees reach 40 to 50 meters in height. Their crowns are so dense that eternal twilight reigns below. These forests produce an enormous amount of oxygen. In fact, the Carpathians breathe for half of Europe. Here, a closed ecosystem functions perfectly. A fallen tree is not removed. It becomes a home for thousands of organisms and gives life to the next generation. Walking here feels like stepping back into the era before humans appeared. Absolute silence and the majesty of nature that regulates itself.
And finally, first place, a fact that keeps seismologists around the world awake at night. We're used to thinking of the Carpathians as old and calm mountains, but that's a dangerous illusion. Beneath the southeastern bend of the Carpathians lies the so-called Vrancia zone, Europe's tectonic nerve center. Here, at enormous depth, tectonic plates don't just collide. One plate is diving under another and breaking off, plunging into the mantle. This creates colossal tension that is periodically released in extremely powerful earthquakes. The energy of these shocks is so great that they are felt from Greece to Finland. The Vrancia zone is a sleeping giant that wakes up every few decades to remind everyone who is really in charge here. The Carpathians are not a frozen monument. They are a living geological organism that continues to grow, move, and reshape the landscape of an entire continent. Right now, while you're watching this video, somewhere deep beneath us, the mountains are preparing their next move. 7 facts, from living stones to an underground storm. Now you understand, the Carpathians are not just a beautiful view from your hotel window. They are a powerful and unpredictable force of nature. Write in the comments, have you ever been to these mountains? What impressed you the most? Respect the mountains and take care of yourselves.